Now, Pastor Snell is the supply pastor for this church, and I'm gonna call her up real quick to say opening prayer for this event. Is she? Oh, there you go. So give her a hand as she comes. I didn't see what she was. Give her a hand as she comes.
Let us pray. Good and loving God, we just want to say thank you one more time for a day that we've never seen before. And we want to thank you, Lord God, for your constant presence. We just ask you, Lord, to be with us during this forum. We just pray, Lord God, that we'll be able to hear and understand what the candidates have to offer, Lord God, for the betterment of East Cleveland community. We thank you, Lord God, for N.O.A.H and N.O.A.H's leadership under Travail, Lord God, and all of his staff. And we just ask you, Lord God, to just bless this city, Lord God, so we can continue, Lord God, doing your will in unity. This we pray in Jesus' name. And let all who love the Lord say, Amen.
So real quickly, before we begin, I like to do this thing because this is something that I do often to actually center myself, to make me realize remember why I'm so passionate, why do I get involved in the things I do and everything. And what it does, it keeps me honest. It keeps me actually going after the right goal instead of like being sidetracked by something else. And so basically, everybody just stand for a second. Everybody stand. And so pretty much, there's a lot of challenges that this city has currently right now. And I'm sure everybody can say it. I'm sure y'all can say it. And so there's a lot of challenges that we have and everything. But it's very, very easy in the midst of these challenges when we're frustrated, when we feel the struggle, when we feel the burden of everything that's going on, for us to actually react in a way that's not godly, right? React in a way that's not based on love. And everything. So one thing that I like to do is actually think about and remember the reason why I get involved, I stay involved, and the reason why I try so hard in this community to restore this community. And so what I want people to do is, well, this is what I do. I think of the people that I love and want to protect. And then I think about those people, and that actually makes me think more about, okay, if my reasoning for doing what I do isn't worth it, and am I doing the right thing? Is in the right spirit? And so if you could just with me, just close your eyes and just corporately, when you begin to think of the people that you love, just yell out their names. Aisha, Gabriel, Naomi, community. Now when you think about those names that you love, you don't just want to love them, right? But love doesn't imply just one thing, right? It implies a lot of stuff. But you also want to protect those people that you love. You also want to create an environment that has the quality of life that we all deserve as Americans, as children of God. And so think about those names. Think about those names. I want to hear some more names out. So just remember that this exercise we did, that's the spirit that we want to have this dialogue in. Because it's not about personalities, it's not about who you like and who you don't like. What it really is about is how do we improve the quality of life in our community? How do we provide opportunity? How do we love and protect the people that's in our community? How do we do that? And if you don't have that as a goal, then that's the wrong spirit. But the right spirit is out of love. Of what we genuinely want to do, because I'm sure everyone loves this community, amen? And so that's the spirit that we want to have this meeting in. Thank you so much. I would like to invite Shay Gaddison up to take us further. Your hand.
Good evening. All right, I'm a high school English teacher, so I have a long day. So if my voice goes in and out, please forgive me. First, I'd like to start off with a couple of announcements. The first being Patterson Park celebration this Saturday at Patterson Park. It is celebration to, I guess, highlight all the progress that Terrell and N.O.A.H and all the members of N.O.A.H have made thus far in revitalizing that park area for the community. So there will be games, there will be barbecue, there will be fire truck tours for the children, courtesy of the East Cleveland Fire Department. There will be police security there. So bring your neighbors, please bring yourself. I'll be there with my kids. So we look forward to seeing you on Saturday. The next announcement will be for next Monday here. We will have a candidate forum for the East Cleveland School Board, for those people who are running for the school board. And I think that's equally important as those running for city council, because these are the people who have been elected to educate our children. So please come out for that. We need everyone here, the more the merrier. Please spread the word to anyone and everyone, especially those who do have children in the East Cleveland School District. I have children in the East Cleveland School District, so I am very interested in who they're going to be putting in office. And last but not least, this is an event sponsored by the ladies of Delta Sigma Theta Story Incorporated, if I can say it, sorry. And this event will be held at Cleveland Clinic on November 3rd, Tuesday, November 3rd, from 6:30 a.m. until 7:30 p.m. in the spirit of the Affordable Health Care Act. These ladies of Delta Sigma Theta are going to assist people in the enrollment process for Medicare. Okay, we just health insurance in general. So, please come out to that. I'm sorry, and I gave you the wrong day. It's not November 3rd. It is Saturday, November 7th, from 9 a.m. until 3 p.m. It says biometric screenings at 9, and this will be held at the 70 Tubbs Jones Center, right on the corner of Euclid and Billmore. I think it's the street. So, if you know anybody interested, if you know anyone who needs health care, please bring them down, bring them out to preserve our health. And with that, I would like to introduce a phenomenal woman. I call her my translator. So I get it to be really too hard for her. She can always translate for me and put what I want to say in diplomatic terms. So she will be our moderator for this evening, Ms. Clemente Taylor.
Thank you. And thank you all for coming out. It's really a pleasure to see you guys again. Because we made it a concerted effort to be informed citizens, and that is so very important that you come out and get information before you cast your vote. And also want to emphasize that this is a local election. I know there's a lot of media attention given to national elections, and they're all in the news. But local elections are the most important elections that you ever cast a vote in, because local elections determine what happens in your day-to-day. You know, how fast you go down the street in your car. You know, whether you got sidewalks to walk on the streets to drive on. You know, how much taxes you pay. You know, locally. So always keep in mind that even though the national elections get the big play, it's the local elections. Local elections are also very, very important. And make an effort to get that word out to the family and friends and your neighbors. This forum is presented by N.O.A.H, and it's an opportunity for the city council candidates for wards 2 and 4 to introduce themselves, or in one case, reintroduce herself to you, and also respond to your questions. I just wanted to tell you a little bit about N.O.A.H, the Northeast Ohio Alliance of Hope. We are a broad-based, nonprofit organization that promotes community empowerment through leadership development and community organizing. Through these methods, N.O.A.H's mission is change is to improve the quality of life for Ohio residents. We work together to create systemic change to the inequitable practices in our community. Citizens are empowered to impact local decisions made in their communities and ensure that those decisions reflect their values and concerns. Our strength lies in our ability to bring together diverse voices to work to end systemic causes of poverty and inequity in our region and also to promote social justice. I just want to acknowledge everyone here today who has helped put this forum together. And I'm going to have them come forward at the end just so you'll know who they are. Thank you.
Toasted.
So you'll know who they are. And once again, thank you to New Covenant. Before we begin, I just want to set the rules for tonight's forum. I'd like to ask the audience to refrain from wearing any partisan items such as campaign buttons and t-shirts in the sanctuary, since this is a nonprofit organization. And before we get to the rules for the forum, before I forget, I want to cover the issues, some of the issues that are on the ballot. If you look at your program, on page 3, is that third page? There's a summary of the issues that are on the ballot for 2015 election cycle. And I'm just going to briefly go through these. N.O.A.H, generally, we cannot take positions in partisan elections, but we can take positions on issues, and we're only taking a position on one issue in this term. But issue 1, which is the issue we will take a position on, creates a bipartisan public process for the drawing of legislative districts. Now, some of you may be familiar with, when the Congress gets together and they start redrawing districts. As you know, in the last redrawing, we lost a representative. That's why percentage was no longer in the Congress, because that district was redrawn, and Mary Captor goes all the way to Toledo now. Okay. And what this issue does, it will deal with state districts, state Ohio House and Senate districts only, not the U.S. congressional districts. And what it does is it attempts to create a commission that will, a bipartisan commission from both parties, that will make the decisions about redistricting. Right now, it's really a very partisan deal. Whoever has a majority of members in the House and Senate generally draw the districts the way they want them, and they draw them so that, they have the majority of their party in those districts, and they basically don't have contested races. Or, they draw them, if they're mostly Republicans in the district, a Democrat has no way of winning. And if you've heard of the term gerrymandering, where they create these really strange districts that they make no sense whatsoever, but they go everywhere just so that they can make it a partisan district. This ballot initiative seeks to stop that. So it tries to have more representation in drawing of the district. It calls for holding public meetings so that people can have input in the decisions that the commission makes. And we support this issue. It's not the best solution to the problem, but it is a good first step towards ending partisan drawing of House and Senate districts here in Ohio. Issue 2 is the anti-monopoly amendment. And what this issue does is it prevents the Constitution from being used to create monopolies for businesses. For instance, I guess I probably should have read the issue 3 before issue 2. Then that would help you get a little more understanding, but I'm going to go to issue 2 first. But it's an anti-monopoly amendment, and what it does, it says that you can't use the Constitution to create businesses or businesses for a few people or one business institution. You can't use the Constitution to do that, to set up businesses for a small number. And I think the legislation actually uses the word cartel. Yeah, the language actually says monopoly, oligopoly, or cartel. So either a single business, a few, or a cartel.
Issue 2 also makes it more difficult for citizens to put citizen initiatives on the ballot, which is why many of the organizations that I know of and support strongly oppose issue 2.
Okay, well, and we are not taking a position, this group is not taking a position, I should say N.O.A.H is not taking a position on issue 2. But that's just explaining to you what the thinking is behind this and what it will prevent those types of initiatives from being put on the ballot. And it also indicates that the Supreme Court will be the exclusive decider of any conflicts or litigation that comes out based on these anti-monopoly. Issue 3 grants a monopoly for the commercial production and sale of marijuana. So what it does, it legalizes marijuana. It specifically determines where the marijuana can be grown. It will also predetermines who will be able to grow the marijuana, and then it also provides the use for the use of marijuana, the legal use of marijuana by persons 21 years of age or older for medicinal and recreational purposes. It also determines the tax rates and also establishes several governmental authorities that will be responsible for regulating the manufacturing, sales, and distribution of marijuana. It's a pretty detailed ballot initiative. The language is pretty detailed, but the bullet points do hit right on the specific items that the law would address. Issue 8 proposes an extension of the excise tax on cigarettes, and in order to fund the Cuyahoga County arts and culture groups in Cuyahoga County. University Circle would probably be one of the biggest benefactors of this initiative. And if it passes, it would levy 1.5 cents on each cigarette sold in Cuyahoga County for the next 10 years. Issue 9, charter amendment for Cuyahoga County. And this initiative, and I did attend some county council meetings where they did discuss changing the makeup of the audit committee. It will include the president of council along with the county executive, fiscal officer, and they want to put a resident on the council. And they actually, and I think this kind of got haggled over for quite a while because someone thought that the residents, they should put experience, they should indicate what the qualifications would be to be on the audit committee. So they will open the audit committee to 4 residents of the county with experience in the field of auditing, accounting, governmental operations, or financial reporting. Okay. And the county executive and the fiscal officer will also serve as non-voting ex officio members because they're the ones being audited, so they shouldn't have a vote. Okay. So that covers the issues that you'll see on the ballot in November. And now we want to move on to our candidates. I want to thank our candidates for coming in today. And as I was stating before, I got sidetracked. I want to give you the rules for tonight. Each candidate must appear in person at the, and no stand-ins are permitted, and we have all our candidates here. The form will be as follows. Each candidate will be allowed a 2-minute opening statement, and following the question and answer period, each candidate will be permitted a 2-minute closing statement. And during the question and answer period, each candidate will have 1 minute to respond to questions. As timekeeper, depending on our time, I might be able to, grant additional time, depending on what our time is. We will have a timekeeper. Where's my timekeeper?
We're gonna move over there.
Oh, okay. My timekeeper is over there in the corner.
We're gonna move over there when they
Pardon?
We're gonna move over there.
Oh, okay. So when you see her raise her hand, her flag, or whatever, please, she'll not try to let you know when you have like 30 seconds left, and then at the end, she will hold up her sign, and we ask that you watch the timekeeper and follow accordingly. Only written questions will be accepted from the audience, and I have folks out here who will be collecting those cards. If you got cards when you came in, if you have questions, please write your questions on the card, hold your card up, and someone will come around and collect those cards. And if you need a card now, please raise your hand so somebody can get you a card. The moderator and the screeners will review the questions, and the questions will, we're reviewing the questions just so we can avoid duplicates, inappropriate questions. But we want to also provide a diversity in the questions that we present. And we will do that. We're going to allow about 45 minutes for questions, and we will get as many in as time will permit. We finally ask the cooperation of the audience. If you can, please hold your expressions of support or not until the end, because that kind of eats into candidates' time. We want to hear as much of what our candidates have to say as possible. We invited all of the candidates for City Council to the meeting tonight based on the list from the Board of Elections for this election cycle. And the candidates were required to confirm their attendance with us. So the candidates that did confirm with us are here tonight. And as I mentioned, you say your name, ladies, if you could take a seat up front. And here tonight, we have with us County Councilman Barbara Thomas,
City
Ward
Council.
2. I'm sorry, City Council. He's Cleveland City Council person. Here. Her challenger, Juanita Gowdy. Challenger for Ward 2. And the candidate for Ward 4, Joey Grant. Okay, Also, remember to raise your hand to get cards, and once you complete your cards, raise them, and they'll come around and collect your cards. Okay? Candidates?